who of you has an S4 implementation ahead of yourself? Or is already in one? Okay. So I think we can all agree that you have quite some project ahead of you. So we regularly hear that, customers tell us this is the biggest project we're going to have in the next 5 to 10 years. Your company is going to invest a lot of money, a lot of resources, and a lot of your personal time and your team's time is going to go into this. So I think we can all agree that we should do everything we can to make it a success, right? Okay, so when I was starting to work on this session, I thought back to the time where I started my career with SAP as a consultant. So I used to be an implementation consultant, so I would go out to our customers and be part of this huge implementation project. So I was doing track and trace regulation implementation for pharma companies, which is also a big thing. It's not an S4 implementation, but it's also a big thing. And there's two things I learned in that time. So the one thing is I saw how complex project management is, how crazy complex it is to keep all of the people that work on these projects, all of the IT people, all of the consultants, all of the people from business working together effectively. And I still think back, we had an amazing project manager in that project, and she always, half of the day she was sitting in front of that huge Excel she had, and she was maintaining all the dates and all the tasks and all the next steps. And basically the other half of the day she was just writing emails to people telling them what they need to do and asking them for their status. Okay, so that was the first thing I saw. And then when I moved on and did more projects, the other thing is that I saw is that all of these consultants build up their best practices. Like the people that gain experience in running projects, they all have their personal PowerPoints or their best way how to run it on their laptop, right? Everything is kind of sitting on local machines, and we were thinking how can we get this into a central repository? So a company that's doing a project for the first time should benefit from all of that content, right? Okay, so then time went on eventually, and then 2 years ago I ended up starting to work on a project with a couple of folks from SAP on a new product that was aiming at solving this first problem, aiming at giving teams that run projects everything they need to do the day-to-day execution, to make sure that everybody understands what are the tasks, what are the next steps, what's the status of our work, and make all of that simpler. Okay. So we built a product, it's called Ruum by SAP. This is what I want to introduce to you today. Who of you has heard of it before? Ah, super. Who of you has already used it? A little bit? Okay, so let's work on making this a little bit more. Okay, so we released the product. It's grown to more than 35,000 users across the world. But then 2 months ago, something really exciting happened, which is SAP consulting teams that run S/4HANA implementations for SAP. They came to us and they told us, your tool is perfect for our job. So we have expertise from more than 100 SAP S/4HANA implementations, and we want to take your product, build all our best practices into templates in your product, and make sure a customer that has an S4 implementation ahead of them can really start and benefit from the nice tooling, but also from the best practices we have. So what I want to give you a quick introduction today is basically what we believe is the formula for a winning S4 implementation: simple tooling, best practices built into the tool, and everything of that integrated into SAP Solution Manager. Okay, so who of you is familiar with Solution Manager already? That's good, because I'm not the deepest expert in Solution Manager, and we don't want to dive into that. There's a booth over there. The colleagues have a booth over there with application lifecycle management. So there's a lot. You can go into all the details there. But part of this Solution Manager is focused build. So the requirements to deploy phase is one part of the project. So how do we get from the requirements phase via testing, change control management, up to a final release. So this is the details on focused build. It's basically a pre-configured solution manager that focuses on this requirements to deploy phase and an agile project management methodology. Okay, so now if we go over to our tool Ruum, as I said, we looked at the market and we understood that there's many project management solutions out there, but we wanted to complement them with an agile front end that makes it easy for teams to do day-to-day task execution. And let me just dive into this. So I want to give you a 2-minute intro to the tool and then show you how we build the best practices into this. Okay? So this is Ruum. I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a simple project there before we go into the more complex project. So let's say I want to run a very simple project with my team. So let's just say my IT project. Let's say let's build an app together. So what we need here is basically we have a phase 1 where we need to define the scope. We have a phase 2 where we need to develop, and a phase 3 where we need to deploy and roll out. So as you see, basically Ruum is like a Google Docs with project management features. So I can just use this open canvas to define project phases, and from there I can just add all the tasks that need to be done. So let's maybe say ideate, then we need to define a scope, and then decide on an MVP. So just by writing this down, I can use very simple task management. I can define start dates. I can define due dates. We can do status management. We can assign it to different team members. We're also auto-generating a timeline. So we want to give you the benefits of a Gantt chart without the complexity of it. So that makes it very easy to just coordinate what we're doing in which time frame. I can also use file upload, so it's going to be easy for me to upload files to the canvas. So I can give my team basically everything we need to execute. Okay, so that was just to give you a quick idea of how the tool is structured. Now, from there, let's look at the S/4HANA implementation project. So basically, what we want to do is we give you this simple tooling, but then we give you a predefined project plan. So the requirements to deploy phases are defined, and also SAP's activate phases are run in these different phases from discover to run. And basically now what we did is we built up a predefined project plan for you. So if you're about to start an S4 implementation project, we can give you these templates that define what needs to be done in every single project phase. So, and the cool thing is, sorry, I'm losing my mouse here a little bit. The good thing is, it's basically like an interactive wiki. So if you look at this, you can see that you can give your team all the documentation and the information on how to do it, what needs to be achieved. But you will also have the predefined task list of what exactly needs to be done. So you'll have a bit of general information, and then if we dive into a specific phase, like the prefer phase here, you'll see that again we give you some overview of the main activities that have to be done with links to all of the content that you need to see. But then, you'll have your task list. You'll understand exactly what needs to be done in which week and in which phase of the project. So, everything is there, and this gives you basically a head start on what needs to be done. Okay, so, and then again, for me as a project manager, I can really understand all the deltas, what's happening in the project, who has completed which tasks. I see a cross-project phase task list, so that makes it very easy for me to understand, what are the tasks that are due this week, what's happening next week, what is the stuff that is blocked. It's very easy for me to filter, like give me all the high priority tasks, give me all the tasks that are blocked. So yeah, everything is there. Okay, so now again, what we've seen is simple tooling, best practices content, so you have everything you need to do. But then the third thing is that we integrated all of this into SAP Solution Manager and the Focus Build dashboard. So if I move over to Solution Manager here, has any one of you looked at Focus Build or used Focus Build before? A little bit? Okay. Cool. So yeah, so Focus Build basically gives you a pre-configured solution manager. We integrated Ruum into Focus Build's project management module, or into the solution manager's project management module. So if I jump here into the bigger module, what we see here is that if we're patient for a little bit. Yes. So what you see here is that these are basically all the different phases, and from there we have a link to the individual rooms. You can see this via the object links here, and you will also be able to understand how many open tasks there are, what's the completion status of the different phases and all of that stuff. So you can use Ruum as the agile lean front end, and all of the information is synced back into the big PPM module in Solution Manager. So as you can see here, I get an overview of all the open tasks, the completed task, and the overdue task. Okay. Another nice thing is that also the Ruum status is integrated into the Focus Build readiness dashboard. So here you will get a dashboard that will give you an overview onto your project status, and also we sync information from Ruum onto that status. So if you see here that individual project phases go on red, go into critical, we also sync the status there, so you will have an overview in that dashboard. Okay, so our friends from consulting have created a nice service that would allow you to get that all in one bundle, which is a really nice thing. So what they can give you is the configuration to integrate Ruum with Focus Build and Solution Manager, but also what they will do with you is they will do workshops with you where they run you through the Focus Build methodology. They will look at all these templates and the predefined project plan. You can do little adaptations for your custom-specific project characteristics and all that stuff, and everything is available for a fixed price. So if you're interested in getting this and looking at this, I'll have the links here. So yeah, there's more information on this here. And then again, our tool Ruum is a freemium tool, so you can just go to roomap.com and sign up for yourself and start to test it out for free. And then what we also added to our website is the ability to request a demo. So if you want to learn more and understand how this really can work for your S/4HANA implementation, just check this bar here. Wait, I'm losing my mouse here again. You see the bar at the top, you can schedule a personalized demo for this. Yeah, so again, we really believe that this combination of simple tooling and best practice content is something that can make your life a lot easier, and that can help you get to a successful S4 implementation. Thank you very much.